so cute. Isn't that precious? Oh, isn't this a thing that we all just fawn over in the stores because we're like, oh gosh, why can't somebody buy this for me? Why? Well, I bought that one for myself. So, I wanted to talk a little bit about Valentine's Day coming tomorrow. My name is Tiffany. I'm a life coach. This is my first video ever, so bear with me and hope that you like it enough to stick on and see my next ones. So, I wanted to make this video for Valentine's Day because as a woman myself, I've learned over the years that Valentine's Day especially is one that is filled with depression and loneliness and even thoughts of wanting to just chug a whole bottle of wine or vodka, anything to just feel better because we're alone, right? Well, as I got older, I started to realize like how insane that is, that I'm putting all my value and who I am, of what I'm worth, on one day. It's crazy. So I made this video especially for women. It's called basically 5 tips of surviving Valentine's Day while being single. So I hope you enjoy it, and let's get down to it. So my first tip for women would be try to not be alone. When you're alone, your mind starts to wander and it goes places that it doesn't really need to go, which will be, why am I alone? What's wrong with me? I'm so pathetic. Nobody wants to be with me. All of these negative emotions that lead to more negative emotions, which can lead to really bringing down your entire self-esteem, and that's what we really want to avoid. So try not to be alone. Get a few girlfriends, come over to the house, have a little wine, watch a comedy, not a romance. Okay, let's try to avoid those today. I know that might be your favorite, but it might not be good for that day. So like First Wives Club, Hangover, 9 to 5. I know I have interesting taste in movies, but those are some good ones. So try to get together with some friends. If you can't, or you feel like you're the only friend who is single, then, or you'd rather be alone, then the next thing to do is minimize the cheesy romance films if you're going to be at home. Because even if it's your favorite movie, like, okay, Titanic is one of my favorites. Ghost, Pride and Prejudice, all these things. All of those, what is like the main thing happening? It's a love story, right? So what happens is, even if it's our favorite, on Valentine's Day, we're going to look at it a little bit differently and be like, why don't I have this? I want it so badly. So stay away from them, even if it's your favorite. Unless Die Hard's your favorite, then definitely go for it. Awesome movie. So then, third tip. This is the third tip. So that was 1 and 2. So 1 is try not to be alone. 2, if you are going to be alone, then don't go with the cheesy romance film. And if you're going to be alone, treat yourself to a nice glass of wine. Just 1. 2, maybe. Try to evaluate first, am I a happy drunk or am I a sad drunk? If you're a sad drunk, stay away from the booze, because then what's going to happen is we're going to start crying and we're going to start feeling really bad about ourselves because we don't have somebody to share Valentine's Day with. We don't want that, right? So have a glass of wine if that's something that's good for you. If you're happy drunk, go for it. If you really want a glass of wine to unwind for the week, do that, but do it for you, not because you're sad that you're by yourself, because you know, we don't want you suicidal, right? Okay, last thing, number 4, treat yourself to one of those shitty boxes of candy, those big ass hearts with the frilly things and everything that says I love you, because every time we go into a store around this time of year, whether it's to get tampons, whether it's to get our prescriptions, supermarket, the groceries, whatever it is, we're bombarded with all this pink and red shit and these hearts, these candy hearts that say I love you, be mine, and all this stuff, and we look at it like, even though we know it tastes like shit, which we really know, we want somebody to give it to us, right? We want somebody to give us that disgusting box of chocolate. So as a step of kind of like saying I'm okay with being single right now because I don't have the person who is good for me in my life right now, buy yourself that box of chocolate. Take it up to the counter with pride, buy the crappy chocolate, and eat some of it at home by yourself. I mean, it's just a way of saying like, okay, nobody can buy it for me right now, I'm gonna buy it for myself, if you really want that. And I think it's more of a symbol than the actual chocolate inside, because the chocolate inside, you know, is really gross. You know, that's like filled with coconut and all this kind of weird stuff. So it's just a step in saying, I don't need somebody else to get this for me. I can get it for myself. Which, as adults, we can get it by ourselves, right? No big deal. It's just a matter of perspective, right? The last one. Think of, and this is going to be a little bit of an exercise. I want you to think of other Valentine's Days in your past that you've had somebody with you and you've been in a relationship. Did that ever lead up to your expectations? Did it ever go to the expectations that you've had in your mind of what Valentine's Day is really supposed to be about? More than likely, no. Because we build this day up so much in our heads that, oh, he's supposed to do this, he's supposed to do that, it's going to be so magical, it's going to be so romantic, lights and candles and horseback rides, whatever it is. We build it in our heads so much that we become depressed when we don't have it. But then if you were to really look back at the times that you did have somebody at Valentine's Day, did it ever live up to your expectations? Really important to challenge yourself on that and think about that. And then, if you're going to spend the evening alone, spend it loving you. What I say with that is, there's so many ways to love yourself. You can treat yourself to a mani-pedi. You can get your hair done. You can order great takeout. You can eat the box of shitty candy. You can do so many things, because you need to see that the love that you're wanting somebody else to give to you, you can give to yourself. And that's super important, because if you're looking for somebody else to give it to you, you're never going to find it, because you need to have it first. I hope that makes sense. I'm a little everywhere sometimes. So here's a tip for feeling hopeful for future Valentine's Days to come. I want you to make a list of all the attributes that Mr. Perfect will have. Whether it's a degree, whether he's from this background, or he has this type of job, or he has this many siblings, whatever the attributes you want in a guy, write it down. When you look at it at first, you can be like, okay, I can do this. Or you'll be like, no guy's gonna ever live up to this. Then maybe reevaluate. Like if you say he has to be a millionaire, think a little bit about it. But the thing is that once you have that list, you are going to be able to compare every guy that you meet from this day forward to that list. And if he doesn't fit it in one way or another, if he does not have all the attributes that you want, say bye-bye, move on to the next one. Because what this is your kind of guide of saying, this is the type of person I deserve, this is the type of person I want, and I'm not going to settle for anything less. So, ladies, my summary of this video and my message for all of you is, don't let this day define you. Don't let this day bring you so down in the dumps that you are thinking of ending it all and crying and eating like raw cookie dough from the fridge. Don't let that happen, because it's just a day. It's just a day of marketing. I know y'all may be saying, okay, well, maybe she has somebody. Yes, I am married, but you know what? I had many, many years of single life, and I remember at the very beginning, especially being a teenager, that Valentine's Day was just another day to remind me that I was alone and that nobody wanted to be with me. And that really hurt my self-esteem. That really brought it down to a point that I didn't think I was worth anything. And so over the years, I had to start to learn that this is just a day, because even when I did have somebody on Valentine's Day, it never lived up to those expectations. It didn't, because those expectations are unrealistic, what we have in our head. It's what's in the movies, which is written, it's fiction. So my advice is that don't let this day bring you to a point where you feel like you are not worth anything. It is just a day. And when you think about it, most of the couples that you'll see out and about in the city, having dinner, things like that, a lot of the people, I hate to tell you, but the women get on the guys to be like, did you plan something? Did you do this? This is a great restaurant. I really want to go do this. And then he just puts it together. I mean, I'm not going to say that's all men. Some men will plan it and some men will put time into it. But a lot of times it's just, it's a couple who have been together just celebrating their love on this day. You know, maybe they don't have many options or days to do it, so they're doing it today. Don't let this define you. Don't let it depress you, because it's just a day. So spend the day loving you. Do something fun. Stay away from the romance stuff. again, buy that box of chocolate, because that's your way of empowering yourself and saying, you know what, I don't need anybody else to give this to me. I can buy it for myself. And just love you. That's what I have for you today. I hope you liked the video. Hope it gave you something good. And I got this at the dollar store, and it's super cute. It's just, I love dogs, so dollar store has a lot of the cute little things, especially if you like pink and red, you can go. So it's just 2 little dogs. So, and I bought that for myself, and I'm married. You see how it works? So stick around for other videos. What my goal is just to give you guys advice on different things that I see that people are struggling with, whether it's in my own practice or things that I see out in life, maybe even things that I've experienced myself. So please subscribe to my channel and have a great week.